Lawrence, welcome to Real Vision.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Ash.
This is your first time on the platform. You've been on the podcast before, Ground
Yes.
Floor Consensus, but your first time on the Real Vision platform.
Yeah, because people really need to see me for some reason.
Well, they see you enough already. I should say, by the way, in terms of full disclosure here, we've known each other for a very long time. We've been friends for a very long time.
Too long.
We talk about crypto markets constantly. In addition
Sadly.
I know, sadly and cynically. But in addition to that, you're also obviously managing editor of markets at CoinDesk.
Global capital markets. They've just I have a new title for some reason.
This is like promotion inflation. It's exactly like the crypto space.
It is. This is a Peter principle in hell.
And you also host First Mover with Christine Lee and Emily Parker every morning.
And I have the first Mover newsletter, which hopefully everyone signs up for.
How many products do you have?
I don't know. I stopped counting. It's a lot of things.
I should also say a compliment, which I don't usually give you in person, which is you're one of the smartest people I know in this space. And you are incredibly cynical and you have an amazing nose for nonsense, which is something that, as it turns out, comes quite in handy in the crypto space.
I think that was maybe an insult about my nose, but I'm not quite sure. I didn't catch the entire thing, but okay, sure.
You know, it's really interesting. You and I actually have, as I said, known each other for years. We just missed each other at CNBC. I think you arrived just as I was leaving, and we worked together at Yahoo Finance for the 20 minutes or so that I was there.
It's 20 minutes more than it deserved.
Probably true.
Yeah. Well, you saw their valuations when they just got sold to Apollo, right? $4 billion. It was originally bought by Verizon for $10 billion. And Verizon Verizon overpaid already, 15x. So, Apollo's only overpaying by 7 or 8x.
I should also mention your background on this is obviously you're a chartered financial analyst and you've
financial analyst, charter holder, because you have to use the word charter holder after CFA. It is for some fakakta reason, you can't call yourself a chartered financial analyst. It's chartered financial analyst, charter holder.
Nobody cares about this.
Nobody does, except when you actually take the exam. It's like literally a question on the exam. This guy, Joe Schmo, CFA, calls himself a chartered financial analyst. Can he do that? The answer is always no. He has to call himself a chartered financial analyst, charter holder.
They give you points for this on the test?
They deduct points if you fail, if you make a mistake. That's really what they do.
I think that's the prime metaphor for your life. You give no one points, you just deduct them.
Deduct everywhere, yeah.
You
start out from a low number and you just keep going.
I should also mention that you've traded FX at a hedge fund. That's how you came up in this space. And one of the reasons why I think you have the sharp eye that you do for things that happen in the crypto space.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
All right, so you get this fancy title now about global markets. What the hell's going on in these markets? How do you characterize them for people who are perhaps coming to it from the crypto side who don't have your background in capital markets? How do you explain what's happening right now?
Oh God. There's a certain degree of, you always hear about hope, fear, and greed. And there's so far seems to be a lot of hope and greed. I think that's like those are the two big things here. We kind of forget just how thin the crypto markets are.
Yeah.
And, we're talking about, oh, wow, Bitcoin has a market cap of $1 trillion. And as Joe Weisenthal at Bloomberg has pointed out, Apple gained $1 trillion in market cap over the past few months. And it took Bitcoin like 12 something years to get there, which granted, it is the fastest anything has ever gotten to $1 trillion. But let's remember that it's still the size, it's still market cap wise smaller than some of the largest companies in the world. Fewer and fewer companies is it smaller than, but it's still relatively small.
But still, the rate of progress getting to $1 trillion, as you say, faster than anything else in the history of the world. And it's done it in a decentralized way, without a marketing firm, without a board of directors, without a CEO.
It's done it with a lot of, we talk about the network effect, and there's an aspect of it, but it has had some marketing, right? I mean, not organized marketing, but it's had, it's the same way like rock and roll, right? Or music, punk, whatever it is, new wave, which is, it sort of starts out and people talk about it and whatever, and they kind of grow a fan base. And those fans are rabidly loyal to their band, and they heard about it before you did. And they're not into it as much anymore because, oh, wow, look, all these normies who are into it now. It's got a lot of the same dynamics as some of these alternative bands that have become popular.
Speaking of alternative bands, also Ethereum over 3,000 just hit over the weekend. We're recording here on Monday, May 3rd. But this is a big sort of round number psychological level for Ethereum to cross.
Yeah. People like those round numbers. It's still about a third the value, total value of Bitcoin. People are growing more and more. The other thing to remember too is that Ethereum, Ether, the currency Ether, right? We have to remember there's Ethereum, the network, and then Ether, the coin. So Ether is up, it's quadrupled in value since January 1st. Bitcoin has only doubled, if that. And there's a lot of hope there with and a lot of vision about what the future will be like because of some of the changes happening within the Ethereum network. So people are looking at that as a potential, the future of crypto, which, I think that's healthy. That is not just tied to Bitcoin. Because
But listen, look, only doubled since January. Here we are in May. That's an extraordinary trajectory and something that we don't see, for example, in large cap U.S. equities.
No, you don't see it. It's still growing. I mean, anything that doubles over a course of a few months is exciting. It says that there's a lot of room on the upside potentially to go, and that there's still some amount of excitement in the project. But part of it to remember is that it is still, like I said, a thin market. This isn't the most. It's not trading in yen. It's not trading in bonds. It's not trading in whatever it is. There are a lot of markets that are much bigger than this. And it's something that I think a lot of people forget. And by a lot of people, I mean people who are buying into this whole narrative of these companies that put it on their balance sheet. And they go, oh, they're doing it for liquidity purposes. Really? Yeah. Okay, great. So guess what? If Elon Musk decides to sell the $1 billion worth of Bitcoin he has on his books and decides to throw it into the market all at once, right? It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a huge problem for Bitcoin because there aren't enough buyers for that 1 billion all at once, right? It'll blow through a lot of orders and it will trigger a lot of liquidations. Because let's not forget that a lot of the Bitcoin market is leveraged. So this idea that it's liquidity, you're buying into, they're putting their money in a liquid asset. I mean, come on, people, really? Like, seriously? No, they want to put in a liquid asset. They put it in treasuries. That's a liquid asset. You sell $1 trillion in treasuries. It's not going to be great for the rates for a short amount of time, but it's a short amount of time. Yeah. There are other people buying on the other side. Bitcoin's a different story.
Hey, if you like this clip, be sure to check out the full interview and more only on realvision.com/crypto. It's 100% free. Sign up now.